Go. Howdy, y'all. Y'all. Hey, as per normal, we're going to go ahead and kill the music because y'all are already here. I know. Y'all are getting better at catching me when I come on live because it's not really exactly as scheduled. 7 minutes early right now, so I did start a little bit early. I tried to do this without all of y'all catching on to me, but no, y'all seem to like it when y'all catch me early, so hey, welcome to the Voodoo Review Tailgate. Howdy, y'all. And by the way, let me make sure that that stays in there for a while. Howdy, y'all. Howdy, y'all, meaning hello, everyone. How are y'all doing today? Great to see you. Be Gnome and Jose Cavendish. Howdy, sir. Oh my goodness. Has been missing you for a while, sir. Glad to see that you're back on, at least at present that you're back on. It's hot today. It has finally reached that level of Houston heat where even I'm going to say it's hot. James Burrows, nothing much, sir. Just pretty much we're an hour out from Chad, and hanging out with y'all is what I like to do. Oh, no problem, Jose. Look, if you're having difficulty getting on at a certain time or whatever, change your time, change your date. Uh-oh, Sharon says it's hot. Well, here in a second, I'm going to see if we can compare notes. Houston hot versus other places hot. Now, I'm not sure if it's just the feels like temperature. Burley Nut Bob, howdy sir, howdy sir. I'm not smoking a cigar and it's a Friday. I mean, I know that seems weird, but I was smoking a cigar yesterday, which also felt pretty weird. But it's getting better. So let's see what we can do about figuring out what temperature it actually is here in the Houston area. Okay, right now it is only 94 degrees Fahrenheit. Which is kindly disappointing. I am willing to bet that the humidity is out the freaking roof and the feels like temperature is well into the hundreds. It is the kind of day that makes you just want to sit here and melt. Howdy, Paul. Great to have you in today. And no, it's not because I'm trying to complain or nothing. Believe me, complaining about heat in the Houston area, it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense at all. No matter what you try to do, it's going to get hot. And it's not even August yet. There I go, having to remind myself it's not even August yet. Ugh. But I was putting in some practice for Steph and Skip. I was moving some stuff from one apartment to another apartment. I'm a little tired. And I got enough sweat on the back of my neck, I could probably get a full drink of water by the end of this show. That'd be some pretty nasty water, but it'd be full. So, Flatcap Piper and Lady Fire want to both be James Bond, but only one of them can really be James Bond. That means either Raphael or Lady Fire has to be the Bond girl. I'm hoping that they choose Lady Fire to be the Bond girl because Raphael does not look like a good Bond girl. He doesn't even look like a money penny. He could probably pull off the Bond look, though. But think about it. Some of the sexiest women on the planet of all time have been Bond girls. And last night I was wanting to type in pussy galore, but I thought it really would not go over very well. Because there's very few people that were, well, more fans of James Bond than me. Horatio, last night, did you see, I know you saw it. Flatcap and Lady Fire were actually asking you to make one of those videos where you mess with people, but Raphael wants to be James Bond. And of course, Lady Fire wants to be James Bond. I'm hoping that you decide to make Lady Fire one of the Bond girls. Yeah. My opinion, and nobody has to like add on to this at all if it makes them feel uncomfortable. Look, I understand. The woman who uses the moniker Lady Fire is easily as pretty as pretty much all of the Bond girls. All of them. Name me one that you know for a fact is prettier. Go ahead. I'll give you a couple seconds. I mean, if you can name one single Bond girl that you think is definitely prettier than Senorita Fuego, And look, my standards are pretty high. Holly Berry is pretty damn hot. I can't totally put her in a class above. And some of them were just straight up knockouts. Not a problem. I mean, who was that singer? Somebody knows who I'm talking about. There was a singer, and all the girls at a certain age wanted to be a dancer for this particular singer because all of his girls were just supposedly sexy as hell. He was on MTV. I don't remember who he was, mostly because his music and mine didn't quite agree. No, probably not MC Hammer, because MC Hammer didn't really have backup dancers that could dance better than he could. No, James, I am not drinking, other than water and Gatorade, and I've been drinking that pretty steadily because it's freaking warm out here. So at least Horatio's going to agree with me. Yeah, the Bond girls, top notch, good looking women. I mean, maybe not all the way through to the end of days. Bob Hope? I'm not sure that Bob Hope was ever on MTV. They sort of made a funny parody about the guy in the movie Empire Records. But it was only if you know which guy I was talking about. Yeah, James, I might have a beer on a really hot day directly after I finish working, but if I've had enough time to cool off and then I go back outside, no, it's not happening. I'm on either water, iced tea, or Gatorade pretty much till the end of the day. It's too easy to throw your system out of whack, and then, well, as you get older, not that I'm old, just older, but as you get older, it really kind of becomes important to keep your system on a certain level and not like go crazy. Jagger would have been good, but that would have been girls someone dated, not girls they wanted to be. Steph. Howdy, Steph. How are you today? Steph will know this, because Steph's the DJ. Who was the guy in the early days of MTV that had all of these women that would act like they were playing the guitar or whatever, and they were all like super skinny and model? Robert Palmer. Yardism. Yes. Chad, if you said hello earlier, I'm pretty certain I would have asked you directly. Robert Palmer. Yes. Like back in the day, everybody wanted, well, all the girls wanted to be a Palmer girl. This is according to my wife. And, well, damn near every other woman I've ever dated. Of course, okay, they're all around my age. I don't care if he's dead. There's lots of people who are dead. Happens every day, seems to be. And yes, Chad's still alive. Sounds like a musical, doesn't it? I bet you there's a song in that statement. But yes, Robert Palmer. Everybody remembers the Palmer girls. You don't believe me? You can Google Palmer girls and you're going to see some pictures that's going to make you remember who the Palmer girls were. It's ridiculous. Like I said, the movie Empire Records actually made fun of him, kind of as a parody about it. Rex Manning was the character in the movie Empire Records, but that character is loosely based upon Robert Palmer. And I heard that he was pretty much a dick, but there's no guarantee there. That information would have had to have been third, fourth, or fifth hand. But needless to say, Palmer girls, Bond girls, people who at least one point in time had that what was considered mainstream, holy cow, that woman's beautiful, good looks. And look, I mean, I know it's a big thing now to make normally male character crossovers into being a female character. That happens nowadays. But you just can't take Lady Fire and make her James Bond. You can't do it. A Bond girl, yes. James Bond, I mean, and not at the risk of then making Raphael a Bond girl. Yeah, reasonably handsome guy. I'm not saying that he's not reasonably handsome. I, I obviously don't have any basis of knowledge on how to judge guys. But something tells me he's not Bond girl material. Horatio, I'm pretty certain that even if there were some Donald girls, uh, there's realistically only going to be one Donald girl in the near future. Um, I don't even know her name yet. That's going to be my granddaughter. Looking forward to October. But yes, if there was a group of girls that were actually Donald girls, well, they would all look like comic book characters because they would be well endowed in certain places and they would be, hourglass shapely uh, and in good proportions. I'm not going to explain the reason why I am the way I am, but I've seen a lot of guys say, "Oh my God, look at that woman over there with the big titties." And I'll look right past them and go, "Where?" I'm not trying to say anything about women in general, but my particular tastes go Well, they go where they go, and they're mine, and thank you. But at least all of mine are legal, and therefore, thank you again. At least 18 years old, remember. Better not be my coat. I don't have any. But yes, pretty much any woman I'm going to be interested in is probably going to be in the right proportions to be a Marvel superhero or DC Comics superhero or something. It doesn't have to be your perfect woman, they're my perfect woman. I mean, I know guys that will not go after any kind of a woman who is taller than them. Well, no, as long as they got the right shape, I'm good. Well, the shape's at least the first attractor. Personalities, gotta be there. Gotta be on point. Because, I'm sorry, I've known some women that were just, oh my God, beautiful, that had the heart of a lump of coal, that they literally just should have never existed past conception. The Plan B pill should have been available to take care of that kind of a thing. But no, no, they grew up to be just as evil as could be. Sorry, don't like women like that. And, oh yeah, one other thing. As far as my kind of women, got to be able to cook. Got to be able to cook. Well, two things about women that can cook. First off, they're willing to experiment and try things that they've never had. When you're first getting with a woman, let's think about this. Have you tried all the food that they've had, and have they tried all the food that you've had? Probably not. So be a little adventurous and try their kind of food. Hey, you might like some of it. But then again, if they're not a little adventurous and won't try any of your food, how do they know that they're not going to like certain things? I like a lot of food. Why women have to cook. Not necessarily that they have to cook, just that they better be able to cook. Hey, what spices go in this? Hey, is this thing still on? Anybody want to put something in chat, please? Anything? Anything? Am I on a frozen screen? Is my chat froze up? Should I just restart? It says I only have 3 people here. Pretty much sure that that's a lie. Hey, Burley Nut Bob just gave me a peace sign. Alright, well, y'all are listening and not chatting, so I guess I'll just keep ranting on. Look, it's not to say that women have to cook. Oh, not a problem, Chad. Not a problem. I was just making sure that the stream was still going out and not just kind of stuck there because, like, chat literally died for about 5 minutes while I was talking. And I was wondering if I was just on the other end of the screen with a little dialing symbol that, of course, tells y'all that I'm gone, and I don't know. Not my fault. Sometimes it happens. It will happen again. I'm pretty certain it will, anyways. No, but what I mean by women have to be able to cook is if they want to make something from their childhood and they can't cook at all, they're never going to be able to explain it to you. They're not even going to be able to come to explaining it to you. And you might be world-class chef, but you still can't do what they want you to do if they don't even know how to cook just a little bit. Bob, I did not do any cooking in the Army, unless, of course, you consider heating an MRE cooking. I don't call that cooking, I just call that heating of a meal ready to eat. Only thing I did was make sure that that Tabasco sauce went on the food, because otherwise there was a whole lot of it that was just inedible when I was in. I've heard that it's changed a lot and gotten a lot better, but you can't guarantee me that. MREs were good enough to keep you going, but they were not the greatest. There was some good ones. Chili Mac was not bad. Stamper Temper, howdy sir. Peeled a lot of potatoes in the Army. No, but I will tell you the 3 guys that nobody wanted to screw with in the Army, and I was one of these. You did not screw with the cooks, because they could fuck up the food for everybody and make sure that everybody knows it's because of that guy. Yeah, you're going to get whooped. You don't know how many of it's going to take, but you know that they've got enough of them to get the job done. You don't mess with the cooks. Just too easy to end up with craptastic food. You never mess, ever, with the guy who brings the post office stuff. Now, I don't remember, for whatever reason, what we called that guy, other than I just called him the post officer. Guy who brought the mail. You don't mess with the guy who brings the mail, because you might be looking for that letter at some point in time, and he might be just sitting it there on his desk, and ain't nobody going to even bother to look for it. You know it's coming. He knows it's there. He can screw you out of whatever for weeks, and nobody would know. Oh, you think you're going to get that cake from that girl? Yeah, do believe me. Yeah, Posty was pretty much, yeah, that was done. But yeah, whoever was bringing the mail, no, you didn't screw with that guy. Something from home that sits there on a shelf for 2-3 weeks could be spoiled by the time it actually gets to you. And it's so easy for them to be like, oh man, it got tucked under this chair right here. I'm sorry, I didn't even see it. And nobody's going to be able to say any different. Nobody's going to prove that he was screwing with you back, but people will see that you were screwing with them and they're going to get you. Last but not least was 52 Delta. Now, 52 Delta was power generation equipment repair. That means the guy on base who makes sure that you got lights. The only reason that computer goes on when you try to contact home, the ability to charge that cell phone, hell, pretty much the ability to do anything, including running the water pumps, all the other equipment that you ain't thinking about that you know runs on electricity, but you still ain't thinking about it. Yeah, believe me, we're talking about bad food. We're talking about bad everything. Everything goes bad when you start screwing with the damn power generation guys. Because all they've got to do is schedule a test of something, claim that there's something wrong, and shut it down. Oh, the freezers. The generator that's running the freezers has to be tested. Oh, we don't have any room. Oh. All the food's gonna spoil? Oh. Those three guys have an unwritten code in the Army. You do not screw with them. Holy cow, you do not screw with them. Oh, you also don't really want to screw with the chaplain. Too many people go to the chaplain instead of going to various other ways of expressing their problems. And, well, the chaplain knows too damn much. You don't screw with the chaplain. Yeah, you just don't screw with the chaplain. Pretty much anybody else, as long as they're within 2 ranks of you, you're good. Because there's only so much things that people can do to you. But those people who make your life so much better, but also make everybody else's life so much better, no. No, unwritten rule. Don't. Just don't. It's not worth it. Too dangerous. Which brings me to another statement. Bowl call. By the way, this is the ugly briar. It's ugly because I screwed it up. I can admit it. It was a first attempt at trying to do this right, and I did not do it right. But I learned a lot, and that's helped me progress. And in it is Sutliff Match 20. Wait, y'all were expecting creamy butterscotch. No, we're done with that. Let's maybe look back at creamy butterscotch in 2023. Maybe. That bag just seemed to be so much more full than it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be a pound. It seemed like there must have been 1.5 pounds in there because it was full. Low carb monster in a 16-ounce can. James Burrow, just remember, talk to Cliff before you start going into those energy drinks all the time. He'll tell you some stories about your teeth. All right, Amphora, Kentucky in a 7LE 127. Very nice. Let's see, what we got here? Kilted Piper Steve, howdy, sir. Carter Hall in a Nisa 57. Very nice. Ooh, jealous some. A lot of Kia rolls in a 673. Woo. Chad is smoking weird stuff. Oh my God. Sir Walter Riley in an Emperor Bulldog. I like it. By the way, Steve, howdy, sir. Glad to have you on board. If Miss Kathy's there, go ahead and send some greetings her way also. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. It's the least we can do. I mean, y'all don't both have to jump on here. I understand. There's a lot going on. Horatio, Carter Hall in a pipe. I like the answer, though. I do that quite often. Steve, by the way, what was the member of the family with the broken hip? And just trying to get the word out so that people can pray for or send good vibes or whatever it needs to be done can happen. Not trying to put you on the spot there at all. Just it was mentioned on my live one time, and I don't want it to go completely unnoticed. And if a few more people will know, then at least there's a chance that some prayers are actually going to get there. Hey, we all pray hard enough, we could probably move the whole world in a circle around the sun. 12-year-old granddaughter named Zoe or Zoe. So thank you, Steve. I appreciate that information. And all the rest of y'all know what to do. Go ahead, send out some notices as you see fit. Now, luckily, 12-year-olds heal from broken bones rather quickly, but normally 12-year-olds do not break a hip. So, pray for a quick recovery and a full recovery. And let's hope that stuff like this doesn't happen again. And if I'm remembering correctly, Steve and Kathy will not be on this Sunday because they are doing so much other things now with family and taking care of things and layer upon layer. If something has to give, and that was one of the things that they said that they could give up for a little bit while it was happening. Don't be surprised if I'm on at noon or if somebody else is on at noon on Sunday. Keeping the spot alive there for Steve and Kathy. If it's me, I apologize. I'm not going to be with a good-looking woman. And well, B, I'm not as old, smart, or as good-looking as Steve, so therefore, double whammy, y'all are getting screwed on that issue. There's a certain amount of wisdom that comes with living the life Steve's lived. I'm not going to be there for a few years. Or ever. Not sure which comes first. But yeah, I don't want that to get swept under the carpet, and for people to think, well, what happened, and just be left in the dark. I'm worried about Mike, but I don't have any more information other than the fact that he was not going to be on this week. There are too many possibilities of things that could go wrong or things that go amazingly right, and therefore he can't hang with us. You know what? Just Mike is fine. All right. Well, Chad says Mike is fine. I've got to believe that Chad talks to Mike a lot more than I do. I might get once a month out to Mike just because I don't want to bug him. But if Mike says he's fine, he's fine. We're good. Okay, not a problem. And most everybody ends up talking to Chad. Pretty weird that way. Chad's like the yellow pages of the YTPC, but in reverse. He doesn't mail all this out. He just collects it. Oh, wow. That seems like something quite a bit more painful than I was thinking it would be. All right, Steve and Miss Kathy. So again, y'all keep little Zoe in your prayers, and we'll be seeing Steve and Kathy back on their Sunday spot as soon as they got things all settled at their end, or at least settled enough that they can come back on Sundays. Steve, Kathy, don't rush. Don't rush now. Family first. Mike is fine. Fine as in enjoying a bowl of Old Joe Krantz. You just never know, James. Yeah, that could be. Maybe he's decided to go full on into codger blends, and therefore he needs to really just let it go for a while. Maybe he's been put as president and founding member of the Escudo Society of Canada, and therefore he no longer has to work because he gets free Escudo whenever he wants. I'm willing to bet that for Mike, that would be just fine. There probably isn't such a society, but if there was, well, yes, because ESCUDO, Escudo. Sporting a new hat? No, it's definitely not a new head. It's an old hat, just one that I haven't gotten to the top of the pile in a while. Or I've worn it while I haven't been live. If this one's getting pretty sweaty, so it's probably not going to get worn again tomorrow. So it'll go to the bottom of the pile, and when it gets to the top, I'll wear it again. Stamper Tamper, you take care, sir. Either he's walking to supper, or he's using the lead foot to drive to supper, or he was saying fook, but in a different way. supper is a good thing. Ladies, any of y'all out there, y'all just remember, yes, the statement is still true. The way to a man's heart is through his stomach. But again, that goes back to women. Y'all better be able to cook. But now let me restate a different way, a different statement. Never trust a skinny cook. Y'all know the one person on Food Network that I refuse to listen to? Giada De Laurentiis. I've got pipe stems bigger around than her. You can't tell me she likes food if she's staying that skinny. There's no way you like food if you stay that skinny. Look at Rachel Ray. She ain't exactly skinny, but she's more my type. I trust Rachel Ray. And right now I don't remember their names, but there's a black couple that comes on, and normally I barely ever catch their show. But when I do, man, I pay attention because they do barbecue and they do southern and soul food and stuff like that. Man, while the world says soul food, I just call it food. I grew up on that kind of food. It's good eating. Somebody out there knows who I'm talking about. She ain't skinny. But I tell you what, if she threw it up on the table, I'd pull up a chair and sit down and I'd plow through as much of it as I could stuff in my gullet. Cool guy. Howdy, sir. Also, you ever seen a guy running a barbecue pit that didn't weigh 250 pounds or better? Think about it. People who love food serve good food because they love it, but they want you to love it as much as they do. Yeah, Steve, now look, I'm bad with names. Don't get me wrong. There's times where I would miss every last one of their names up. How about the white lady with the spiky hair that used to be the secondary or sous chef to Mario Batali? But she got such a name for herself that she actually became her own chef. So, yeah. And some of y'all out there know who I'm talking about with that too. The Nellies, Pat and Gina. Yes. There we go. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate that. For whatever reason, their name does not stick up here. Man, their food would stick right around here just fine. And I'm telling you, if I'm really looking for a recipe or something and I thumb through and I see it's from them, I start writing it down. Hell yeah. Are you trying to say that Tennessee barbecue has some people that ain't 250 pounds or better? Well, if the guy ain't 250 pounds, but he's only 240, but he's only 3'4", then I guess he still fits into the category. Oh yes, Welsh Piper 62. Actually, really good content. Thank you, Steve, for the shout out. Oh, that's where the Nellies are from. Yeah, they do Tennessee barbecue. Right, right, right. Okay, that'd be like Memphis ribs and such. Now, believe me, I'm real fond of Texas barbecue. Any place I can go that has real Texas barbecue, I'm a fan of. But when it really comes to ribs, Memphis ribs is going to be high on the list. I just sorry. No problem, Steph. We were just chatting and jawing away. Nothing major. I did say you don't trust a skinny cook. Pointed out that the De Laurentiis girl with Giada, that's her first name, Giada De Laurentiis. I don't trust her. If she really, really enjoyed food the way a good cook or chef is supposed to, I'm sorry. She ain't gonna be skinny. Snow barbecue and blacks is your two favorite. Good choices, good choices. Having been all over Texas, I'm going to tell you Cooper's, but the Cooper's in Llano, Llano. Trust me on that one. That's a must do at some point. And though it's gone now, if you could magically transport yourself back into the early 80s and go to Joe Cotton's Barbecue in Robstown, Texas. Oh my God. Now, quite literally, Joe Cotton's Barbecue got so damn good at it that they started being invited to not go to competitions because the world got tired of saying, well, Joe's is here, who's taking second? When your top prize goes down because the same person wins it over and over and over, it gets to be just to the point where you just say, nah, forget it. We ain't doing it no more. You're supposed to be bringing in a crowd, not just immediately going right back to the same exact thing that wins every year. Problem is, their stuff was so good that every year they won, and it was not even a close battle. And yes, I grew up down there, and yes, that's the way I kind of tried to model my brisket to be like theirs. I got the flavor right. I can't get the texture just right, but I'm trying. Of course, they had years to work on it, where I obviously didn't. But I'm working on it. Howdy, DDT. Great to see you in today. All right, 15 minutes till roughly Chad o'clock. Just trying to let y'all know that's about where we're at. About 15 minutes from now. But yes, Steph, I have always said don't trust a skinny cook. Now, I will tell you, my grandmother, being that they're both dead and in the ground already, I don't know about the one that lived up north. Howdy, Dave. Great to see you today. Not fussy today? Well, okay, I guess not. You missed most of the show. My grandmother was a freaking awesome cook. She could have 5 unrelated cans in a pantry, and you'd end up with a 7-course meal that you could not believe she somehow pulled out of thin air in your own kitchen. I don't know how she did the shit that she did. She was just that damn good. Howdy, Mr. Freeze. Great to see you, sir. But yeah, okay, so little background on my grandmother. She grew up as a sharecropper, but she was small. So she couldn't pick as much as the other kids and the other families. But she had a certain amount of talent for being in the kitchen. So she would fix food for the sharecroppers while they were out doing all the work. Don't worry, she worked plenty hard. Uh, oh yeah, Steve, no problem with that. Actually, I use a big fat can of beer. Um, that's because I've found that the beer actually adds a little bit of extra to that texture. Of course, I season it with various spices that will end up imparting themselves to the meat. Uh, it's a little difficult to explain without actually showing somebody how well it works. But yeah, yeah, garlic, onion, but you need to use actual whole garlic and slice it up yourself, and actual onion pieces. But to really do it, you're going to need about 24 ounces of beer. You're going to need to take about 2 big gulps out of that can, and then you chop everything up small enough to fit through that little hole in the can. And well, you need 24 ounces because it might take damn near 24 hours before it is finished cooking, and you don't want that can to dry out. Normally, I still have just a little rattle of liquid down in the can when everything's all said and done. But the rest of it turns to steam. But yes, I appreciate the statement there because a lot of people don't know that. So, anyways, my grandmother, back to that story. Growing up, she was cooking for crowds for forever. And then she started working at this place that everybody called the cafe. Now you can look this up. You might not be able to find the cafe, but you can find craft foods, okay, in Garland, Texas. Yes, I'm saying Garland, Texas, and there was a craft foods. Okay, if you look at that picture from satellite and you look off on one of the sides, you will see a water tower. Now, if you look right in front of that water tower, you will see 2 buildings. One was for the water tower, City of Garland, Public Works, and the other one, at one point in time, was a cafe. And then the cafe became a Western wear store called Master Hatters. What it is now, I have no idea. Don't even care. But back when I was in high school, over 20 years ago, it was called Master Hatters. That is not where Hank Hill lives. I don't remember where Hank Hill lives, but I'm pretty sure it's not Garland, Texas. But yes, my grandmother worked for, now this is going to sound crazy, but it was Mrs. Cook who owned the cafe. And knowing that my grandmother was that kind that could cook anything from nothing, she kept my grandmother employed. And I will tell you that they made most of their money at lunchtime on a line that just kept seeming to move. As people would pass through that cafe counter, somebody else would finish up their meal and go on back to work over there at Kraft. And they kept that place busy. My grandmother told me before she died that at one point in time she would cook 40 pecan pies every day. 40, and that's just the pecan. We're not talking about the apple and the cherry and the blueberry and the peach and any of the others. Just pecan pie. Oh, and believe me, when pumpkin pie came into season, yeah, you believe me, she would be stuffing pecan pies down people's throats practically. Jose, believe me, I believe in grandmotherly magic. But yes, my grandmother could cook like, I have never had food that tasted as good. Now, she spent years doing it. And I will tell you, she was not a thin woman. I'm not saying that you got to be a fat, huge person just to be a cook. You can't be skinny. Not in my mind. There's no way you can be skinny and be a good cook. Because if you're a good cook, you're always practicing your craft. You're always practicing your craft. That means you're always tasting a little bit. If you're always stuffing food in your mouth, sooner or later you're not going to be skinny. You do not have enough time to be skinny and be a good cook. It's just not enough time in the day. Not unless you're doing something that I would say is probably illegal. Enough booger sugar, and I'm pretty sure that you too can be skinny and a good cook. Of course, you better be a great cook because you're going to run up that bill on that booger sugar. Oof. Every once in a while, this pipe just all of a sudden will bring back a nice, juicy morsel of bleh. It smokes fantastic right up until that point. But then I keep a couple of little pipe cleaners around just for that occasion. Clean that right out. Woo! Well, looky there. We're down to 5 minutes and 4 minutes until Chad, if this thing reads right. Howdy, Mark. Great to see you today. Now, quickly, if anybody has anything they need prayers about, want prayers about, y'all got friends, family, whatever, make sure to keep Zoe, little Zoe, 12 years old, member of Steve and Kathy's family. Keep her in your prayers tonight. Smokey Dan, howdy, sir. Good to have y'all on board. I mean, I know we're just hanging out for a couple more minutes. Corvette Jim for his son Sean. Yes, exactly. Put the names up there. Let's get that out for everybody so that they got something to go on. Look, I'm terrible with names. If I don't remember a person's name, I don't remember a person's illness. It's not because I don't want to. It's because there's a lot going on, and I can't be expected to remember everything. But yes, anything else that's going around that we need to pray for or get up about, this good time to throw it up there. There's Chad's channel. We definitely want to be able to, as community, bring our problems forward as we need to. Holy cow! 1990 finally dropped. What the hell happened? I missed it. I should have gotten a notification of that. Okay, well, damn. In case y'all haven't been watching, Chad has one hell of a musical theory class that's gone on for, well, several episodes. And 1990 finally dropped yesterday. I'll probably go back and watch that at some point very, very soon. Okay, 2 minutes left. I know it's kind of the craziness of it all. I need y'all to remember, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Do the best y'all can with that. I like having y'all around, and the more of y'all that are still alive at the end of every year, the better off it seems to be. But if we don't take care of ourselves, well, that list gets shorter and shorter and kind of depressing. So no more depression this year. Let's just stay alive and keep well. Because, I mean, you know, we are a small community. Every one of us has a certain part to play, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And in case you're wondering, yes, I keep looking over here for Chad. He'll be on here in a minute. That's okay, Boris. I had a Jethro Tull song playing in my head the other day. That'd have been Aqualung. Something about heat and humidity. If you can't breathe your water, you're gonna have to not see Houston in August. Yeah, it gets exactly like a certain Jethro Tull song, except for the fact, not about the homelessness portion of it. Alright, so everybody's bailing out. Chad should be starting his show. Chad is live. Alright, Chad's live. Everybody, y'all remember? Long lives, big bowls, and long ashes. Y'all take care, and I will see you over there on Chad's channel here in just a minute. And, well, you know. Y'all take care, and I will see you again soon.